Hey, welcome to Tales of the Getaway Guy, an adventure into 23 years of TV getaways all across New York State and beyond. Our travels will occasionally venture into 23 years of radio days where my broadcasting career began. Hold on, I've got everything you're going to need for your next getaway. Hello again, Mike O'Brien, your Getaway Guy, and we are back with another episode of Tales of the Getaway Guy. By the way, we had such a great response last time around to the Sodus Lighthouse at Sodus Point, Sodus Bay. We're going to do something similar to that today. If you like lighthouses, this show is definitely for you. Before we get started, I want to do a quick shout out to our friends in Hilton. The Hilton Palmer Rec Center had me as guest speaker to a very large group a couple of days ago. Nicest people in the world. So thank you for having me as your guest speaker. Truly enjoyed it. We did a book signing and everything, and I got to meet so many wonderful. It'd been like 20 some years since I was last out there speaking to a group at the rec center. Really enjoyed it. So thank you very much for coming along. If your group, organization is looking for a guest speaker, the Getaway Guy can come to yours too. Just email me and we'll talk about it, and I'll give you all the details how we go about that guest speaker appearance at your group or gathering. Just email me at MikeTheGetawayGuy@gmail.com. MikeTheGetawayGuy@gmail.com. Okay, are you ready for a road trip? Here we go. We're about to take you on a road trip nearby to a place that not a lot of people know about. Here we go. We begin on Lake Avenue. We're heading down Lake Avenue, and you know, you're heading towards Charlotte, the beach. But before you get there, just after Ladder Road, you're going to see Holy Cross Catholic Church on your right. Turn into that parking lot right there. There you go. And I want you to go all the way to the back. There's something very special back there. Very special indeed. And here she is, the Charlotte Genesee Lighthouse. A lot of people don't even know it's here. You've been here a while. Yeah, in fact, she's been here since 1822. This is a Rochester landmark. It's 40 feet high. That's why I think the trees in the area are probably taller. You just don't see it. But there she is, 40 feet high, overlooking the mouth of the Genesee River and Lake Ontario, the Charlotte Genesee Lighthouse. I love this. It's so beautiful back there. You can tour the lighthouse and the museum Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays from 1 to 5 p.m. Adults $5, kids are $2. 4 and under are free, so it's close by and it's cheap. And they're available Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays, and it overlooks the port of Rochester, where you can find restaurants and everything else. And it's just a wonderful area down there. And not only restaurants there at the port of Rochester, just a few steps away from the Charlotte Genesee Lighthouse, but if you're in that area, Charlotte Beach, you got to go over to my favorite Italian restaurant. It's Mr. Dominic's on the lake. There she is. One of my favorites when it comes to Italian food. And you know, Abbott's is down there. It's just a nice area to be in. So you've got the lighthouse, you've got the port of Rochester, and of course you've got restaurants and a lot of people. And it's a good place to go. It's nearby. The lighthouse, obviously cheap to see, and so many other things going on. I was surprised at how many people were down there. This was on a weekday when I was there filming, and around 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock. And yeah, there's a lot of people down there, lots of activity. So, oh, by the way, Genesee Lighthouse, the Charlotte Genesee Lighthouse, if you want to go to their website, go to GeneseeLighthouse.org, GeneseeLighthouse.org. Volunteers run the Charlotte Genesee Lighthouse, so they're good people. And they do this all out of the goodness of their heart, and they work hard to make this happen. So that admission price is as inexpensive as it is, really helps support them. I've got another lighthouse. This one you can spend the night at, and I'll tell you about it. It's a little drive away. It's not that far, but you'll be on the road for a little bit. But first, I want to talk to you a little bit about one of our sponsors that make this possible, Catherine Cottages. I love Catherine Cottages. If you're down into the Finger Lakes and you're looking for a cozy little rustic, comfortable cottage that's dog friendly, I suggest in Montour Falls, Catherine Cottages. There's 4 comfortable cottages right on Catherine Creek. Bring your fishing pole. Again, Montour Falls. It's near Watkins Glen. So if you're heading down there to go to the gorge at Watkins Glen, this is a perfect place to stay. Now, their weekends are pretty much booked, but they have a lot of availability on weekdays. So if you're able to score one of these on a weekday, all the better. And even into the fall, there are some opening opportunities when the leaves are changing. CatherineCottages.com, that's the website. I highly recommend it. Nice, peaceful, rustic cottages, CatherineCottages.com. Now, the other lighthouse that I wanted to talk to you a little bit about is in Pulaski. Some say Pulaski. Whatever way you pronounce it, there's a lighthouse there. It's the Selkirk Lighthouse and Marina. I did a story there on cable, years ago. It's beautiful. It's old. She's been there a while. In fact, this has been there since 1838, the Selkirk Lighthouse. It's a fully operational lighthouse built with 5 cottages that you can rent. Plus, they have the lighthouse residence that you can also rent. But go to their website to check out availability, salmonriverlighthousemarina.com. When they were looking for that website domain name, I'm sure no one else had that. salmonriverlighthousemarina.com. It's on 5 Lake Road, Pulaski, New York, at Port Ontario. It's probably maybe an hour and a half away, 2 hours at most. But I remember doing a story there, and the place is just unbelievably historical. And the story that goes on behind that, great history. And you can go to the top of the Selkirk Lighthouse. And it's the only bird cage. They call it bird cage lighthouse. At the top where the light is, it looks like a bird. It's in a bird cage. But you can go up in there, and I did. And I came all the way back down, and I forgot to turn the light off. So I had to go all the way back. No, I'm just kidding. It's a bad joke. And no one laughs at that anymore. Only I do. I'm like Red Skelton. I laugh at my own jokes. And no one remembers Red Skelton either, okay? So we're really aging ourselves here, folks. We do a podcast question. Every time we do Tales of the Getaway Guy. And this question comes to us from Janice in Corning, New York. That's my hometown. Corning, New York. Janice writes, "Dear Getaway Guy, my husband and I had a hard time getting into any popular restaurants when we were in New York City last week. Any tips on making that a little bit easier?" Janice, thanks very much for your question. Yes, here's my travel tip. If you're staying at a nice hotel, and most likely you are when you're in New York City, if they have concierge service, go to the concierge. And even though that wonderful restaurant that everybody else has a reservation at and you can't get one, the concierge most likely will be able to get you a reservation because they have pull and they can do it. And that's what I would highly recommend. Even before you go on your destination to, in this case, New York City, call the hotel, tell them you're going to be a guest at the hotel, and get connected to the concierge. They will hook you up in advance with a reservation to wherever you want to go. Or they can suggest or recommend a great place within the neighborhood. Concierge services are great. They really are. And at a nicer hotel, a more upscale hotel, they have them, and they fully expect you to ask questions, to make reservations, whatever. And sometimes if they really help you out, it's always nice to, in a little envelope, slip them a little tip, a little $20 bill or something at the end of your stay. I'll give them $100. But, it's a great service. And again, they can score that reservation when you can't. And here's another travel tip. I don't, do this very often. A lot of times, if you're in a place, just call any hotel concierge service. You don't have to get into the fact that you're not a guest there, unless they ask, and then you'll have to be truthful. But just call any hotel concierge, ask to get a reservation at a particular restaurant, and they'll do it for you. I mean, it's that easy. So they're always there to help you. So I hope I've answered your question, Janice. If you have a question for the Getaway Guy, Email me, MikeTheGetawayGuy@gmail.com, MikeTheGetawayGuy@gmail.com. And if you're looking for travel books, by the way, when I was in Hilton speaking to this wonderful group of people at the rec center, we did a lot of book signing. They picked up my travel books, volumes 1 and 2, and we signed them to everybody. If you're looking for a set of travel books, volumes 1 and 2, I'll give you volume 1 for free when you grab and purchase volume number 2. Just email me and let me know what you're looking for. MikeTheGetawayGuy@gmail.com, and I'll take care of you. MikeTheGetawayGuy@gmail.com. By the way, my books are also available at Powers Farm Market in Pittsford and Lift Bridge Bookshop in Brockport. I think that's it. Have we done it all? This is one of our shorter shows, but I hope you've enjoyed it. You know, other lighthouses, and we're on the subject of lighthouses, today we did the Charlotte Genesee Lighthouse, which is wonderful because it's right in our backyard if you're in Rochester. We did the Selkirk Lighthouse, and we've also spoken about and did a show on the Sodus Lighthouse, Sodus Bay, Sodus Point, which is another great lighthouse to check out. There's also 30 Mile Point Lighthouse, which we've done on previous shows, but if you haven't seen the shows, that one is in Barker, New York, right in Golden Hill State Park. And that's a great, old, beautiful, historical lighthouse right on the shore of Lake Ontario. Just follow the Seaway Trail, Route 18, all the way out. And that's a wonderful, and you're very close to Olcott Beach Carousel Park. So if you have the kids with you, little ones, they'll love that. So there's so many day trips, so many places to go. I hate it when people come up to me and they go, oh, there's nothing to do. I'm like, yeah, there is a lot to do. Well, 50 getaways in each book. Here's 100 of them, so grab one of my travel books. But there's so much to do in New York State, and hopefully today we've entertained you with a few other great ideas. Thank you for coming along for the ride today. I'm Mike O'Brien, your getaway guy. Thanks to Catherine Cottages. Thanks, Joe, here at Classy Wolf Media. And until next time, I'm Mike O'Brien, your getaway guy.